How's this, folks? Helicopters coming to King Island. It's an organisation called Helicopter Safari. They're here today with about 16 choppers coming to the island. Let's have a look and let's have a chat with a few of them what it's all about.
Yeah, no, it's pretty special, Wade. We do get a couple of choppers here or there, mainly dropping off for fuel or worker transfers for the platforms around the strait. So to have all these rock up on a safari today, it's special for the island, and it's special to see them all here at the airport too.
And is it a lot of work for your workers and yourself to guide them all in and get them all in?
Not too bad. They approached us a couple of weeks ago just to ask about parking and fueling requirements and any other additional airport requirements. So probably took us half hour just to and fro, a bit of conversating and just work out where we're going to park them all, where they're safe and secure.
So with their arrival, you sort of have to mix that in a little bit with your normal departures and arrivals here at the airport?
It makes it a lot easier if we can schedule it outside the standard arrivals of our main operators, Sharp, Rex, King Island Airlines. So this worked out really well. It's right in between those busy periods. So it just makes it a bit easier to liaise with everyone that way and makes it safer as well.
Tell us a little bit about Helicopter Safari. Safari helicopters, what is it?
Yeah, well, it's basically like a four-wheel drive group, but we're all in helicopters. So this particular trip's around Tasmania. We've been here 4 other times before, and it's just beautiful flying. And we generally stay coastal and just visit various little towns along the way.
Starting from?
Well, we started at 12 Apostles last night, and we're here at King Island for the night, and we're doing a few tours here. Then we're down to northwest Tasmania, then down to Strawn, then around to Bruny Island, Hobart for a couple of nights, and then up the east coast before we head home.
So how do you go with refueling? Is there everywhere you go there's a petrol station there for you? Or?
No. Sometimes we've got to organise what we call a remote fuel drop. So we'll have drums of stock, 200 litre drums, and then we'll just hand pump into the helicopters. So we've got a mix of helicopters. We've got R44s which need avgas, and then we've got the R66s like behind me, and they're a turbine engine. So,
and how many choppers in total arriving here?
On this one we've got 16 helicopters and 39 people.
And how do you become a member of, like you say, like a four-wheel drive club? Or?
Yeah, well, we sell helicopters, so we're Helibiz, so we're one of the dealers for Australia, and we sell Australia-wide. Robinson's made in the US, so we've had that affiliation for over 20 years now. And we train people, we service the helicopters, and other people are from other parts of Australia, so they come over and fly with us. We've done Cape York in September, which we've done Cape York probably 7 times now. We've done the Kimberley, Darwin, Arnhem Land, across to WA. So we cover all of Australia, and we've had one overseas trip, which was PNG. That was a few years ago.
I know many hobbies can be expensive. Is this an expensive hobby?
It is. It is expensive. One of these helicopters behind me, they're around about $1 million. But there's lots of people that have got big boats that are those sort of numbers as well, and if not more. These guys mainly don't have boats; they just have helicopters instead.
What is the biggest challenge on a trip like this?
Probably the weather. The weather's the only thing we can't control. Other than that, logistics. It's a lot of planning just with people, and because people sort of cancel out or want to join and change accommodation, I think that's probably logistically. Fuel is normally okay. I've done it long enough now, so I've got some good contacts. It's normally the weather. So we've got, it's gusting 35 knots here today. So if that's on our nose, that can slow us right down, and then that can be a fuel issue then.
Now, with the helicopter flights coming to King Island and going to Tasmania, we don't only have pilots, we have navigators too. Are you a navigator?
Well, I'd like to think I am, but he tends to do most of it.
So you're just enjoying the view?
I'm the camera person, and I do the food and beverage.
I guess it's very different flying in a helicopter across the place and in an ordinary plane, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's really scary, but it's great views and you can see everything.
Did they tell you about King Island, or did you Google King Island?
I googled King Island. There's apparently a really nice dairy, cheese dairy, and there's some meat here that I'd like to try. Yeah, we're just excited about coming and trying some of the food.
You think that 24 hours is going to be enough?
Not the way I eat, no. I would like to try all restaurants.
Now, Ian, you got a lot of tourists coming to the island that you take on tours. Do they often arrive with helicopters?
Well, this mob have been since 2010. Helibiz comes down from Queensland, and anything from 30 to 40 helicopters can turn up. So it's a great thing for King Island because everybody loves to get out, see a bit of fauna, flora, history, scenery, and of course the food, So the whole trip down Tassie End is focused on all of that, and King Island showcases itself very well in every facet.
Do they show you by helicopter King Island, or you haven't gone that far yet?
I've been too busy to jump in one, but they've given a few joyrides out here and there, so they're very generous with their time and their machines. So yeah.
How long are they here for?
24 hours, that's all we get them for, and they fly off, and it's all about another destination, another page. But the interesting thing is that, since 2010 they keep coming back, so we've got a few things that we can showcase here on King Island. As we know, there's some great features here on the island that are found nowhere else in the world, so it's a great place for them to visit and capture a bit of island life, really.
So what did they see in 24 hours?
Just about everything. Well, we're not long. Drop the bags to the brew house. The calcified forest and a few things like that are a must. And of course, the 5-course degustation at Wild Harvest tonight, showcasing the food trail of King Island. That's always a big hit. And they'll do breakfast in the morning with John Smith and jump in their choppers and head off. So it is a bit of a whirlwind trip, but every year we showcase something different, which keeps bringing them back.